Hello, dear YouTube family. A very warm welcome to another special webinar for this week. I'm your financial analyst for today. My name is Akash Malhotra. I'm very happy for today to see you once again. We have a lot of market moments. We will be talking in depth about them. We have a lot of trading strategy in particular. We will be discussing out for today. Especially there is one trading strategy, as you can see the name of the stream. We'll be using AXEL's trading strategy. We'll try to take some live trades in it, and we'll try to maximize our profitable percentage in it. Apart from this, I'm going ahead with all your chats, your conversation. Make sure if you have any question in your mind, tag your comment in the comment section and I'll be reading your comments. If you have any question regarding trading, I'm there to help you out. Especially, we have a very good earning report for today. I'll just show you in the graph exactly at 7 what will be happening in the financial market. We have some clients of us. We have some chats available here. For trading news, sir said hello. Samratji said hi. Hello, Samratji. How are you doing? We'll be waiting for some of our clients to join the webinar once again. I will be talking about some of the nuances which will be happening in the financial market, what entirely happened in the financial market, and what are the good chances in the next week for us to make a good amount of profit, especially on the next week. I will be having a special conversation regarding the non-farm payroll, since there are a lot of news lined up for us in the next week. We'll be talking about that. Samratji, okay, so I'll let me go through your comments once again. So Samratji said today is very market. What's the basic conditions for the market for today? Samratji, for today, existingly, the market is a little on the moderate side. We haven't seen that much volatility from the market. There are some good market moments for us. We will be talking about them in the conversation. Definitely for today. Bhaskarji said hi. Hello, Bhaskarji. I'm very happy to see you after a complete week. Trust me, because there are a lot of factors that we will be trying to learn about. We will also be talking about some of the special trading strategy. Among from all the clients, I really wanted to know how many of you do have an advanced status, expert status. For those who clients who have expert status, please put plus symbol in it. And if you do not have expert status, any status from starter to advanced, you can type negative in there so that I can know how many of the clients are there with respect to Olymp Trade are continuously taking conversation with the expert status. And yeah, I'll get to know about the clients who are having an advanced and starter status. Bhaskar ji said today my result was, but I'm very sorry for the losses. Sometimes happens, Bhaskar ji. Market conditions are sometimes good and sometimes bad, but you have to understand this. When you are taking trades in your live account, especially, do not get emotionally attached at all. At all. And the second important thing is, if you are facing losses, just quit the trading for that day. That's one of the greatest advice which was given to me back in the time when I was in the beginning state. One should know when to quit the market, sir. We still have some goods flowing up in here. I'm very happy, first of all. For all the new traders and clients, my name is Akash Malhotra, and I'll be your financial analyst for today's special webinar. Now, in terms of experience, if I must say, it's been more than 5 years for me that I'm working here as a financial analyst. Now, my main objective is to help my client understand how the financial market works under the different circumstances. We basically go through some live trades. We use different trading techniques. We use indicators, oscillators, combinations. Everything will be there only. If you do not have any advanced status or expert status, let me know. We will be crafting a very simple trading strategy for today. It doesn't matter about the status. What matters is whether you are making profit or not. So yeah, we'll be talking about that respectively. So let's go ahead with your comments once again. Akmal ji said, sir, start explaining the strategy. Sure thing, sir. Sure thing. We'll begin the session after a couple of minutes. Maybe we will be waiting for some of the new traders to join, and we'll start from that moment. Bhaskar ji said, I'm finding good teachers. Sir, good teachers are hard to find, but there are we who are committed to help our client in the best possible way. To do that, you will have a couple of options available in case you are opting out for especially help in trading. What you can do, you can upgrade your status to advanced or expert. For expert status client, we are promised to give like around 4 sessions in a month, and for the advanced status client, we usually give 1 session in a month. Anyways, 1 session can help you out entirely for a couple of more weeks. Just in terms of understanding, you will be having a higher knowledge compared to the people who are not. And it basically makes a huge impact in the financial market. A lot of people do make some considerable losses, which is fine. But knowing your strength and weaknesses, you can build up our potential based on that. Okay, so Sonu Khushwa ji said, good evening, sir. Ali Akbar ji said, please kabhi kabhi Hindi mein baat kare. Sir, this is a global channel. If you want me to have a specific conversation in Hindi language, you can join our special webinar, which is streamed on Olymp Trade India official channel, where you can see me there. The timing would be exactly around 7 p.m. according to the Indian Standard Time. Avilash ji Kankar ji said, Abhishek ji has faced a considerable losses. I'm very sorry for your losses. I believe if you guys are willing to make money in the financial market, the main objective should not be driven by the money, but it should be driven by the knowledge and understanding that you get about the financial market. It's not something that I really wanted to say, but being very honest here, because it took me a very long amount of time and some extensive working hours, especially to work out with my mental psychology and to work up with the financial market. So yeah. Okay, so let's begin our conversation. I believe we are good for now. Let's talk about the financial market, and then we can move ahead with that. There are 3 major impactful news which will be happening to be formed in the next week. Make sure whatever I'll tell you for today's session, you are hearing that out specifically well. I really want you to enjoy today's webinar. At the same time, I want you to make a good amount of profitability, especially in the next week. Let's begin our conversation about this. So one of the biggest impactful news happened to be recently when USD JPY broken its record of around 150 in a very short duration of time. It was hovering around 149 level, which in terms was broken recently, and it went to around 150 level. Now, if you look at this graph very closely for one day, you will find out this USD JPY pair all-time high was around 151. So that means starting from this price level, there is a good opportunity for the USD JPY to crumble down, and it is in fact happening right now. All you can see that USD JPY is tumbling down, which again in terms can help us out to make a good amount of profit. If you'll see, I actually have opened up a trade in one of my trade is open in Forex. That means if USD is tumbling down, that means the price of euro must be increasing. Can you see this? It's increasing right now. Now, what is the main reason for this biggest candle formation? It's just because of the financial market news, which happens to be released for today. Some of you clients probably know about investing.com, how to check economic calendar. If you don't, please let me know. I will make sure in the upcoming webinar, I'll teach you how to read economic calendar. Not many people know about this, but if you are very eager to learn about that, I would love to help you on that part. Let's move ahead. So what happens recently, PCE price index data was released. Now, PCE price index is the data which basically contribute to the inflation in the country's economy. And it is found that it's been on the rising side. Rising side, it's not a good sign for US economy. That's why US dollars is decreasing. The price of euro is increasing. It's one of the biggest ways why the market tends to be more volatile right now. Second most important news that you will see is regarding Bitcoin. which you probably have seen. Bitcoin has broken all its record, went to around 35,000 level. Now since this price is hovering near this price, that means it's staying around this specific price level and there is no positive or negative inclination, I believe in the upcoming time it has a good potential to rise, but 35,000 level is a very good level of resistance. So taking a very small stop loss can help you out. You can take a very small stop loss, take a 10% of stop loss in this position, and there you go. If the market doesn't hold this price for longer duration, that means it will tumble down, you can make profit. In case it rises, a stop loss of 10%, that means you will be taking the risk of just 10% of the initial capital that you have invested. Make the profit, leave the market. That's the strategy. That's the strategy which I use, I believe. Okay, let me go through your comments once again. Mukesh ji said good evening Mukesh ji. Bhaskar ji said you are taking trades on the basis of getting signals. What sort of signals do you follow, sir? Samrat ji said your voice is good, sir. So as yours. Thank you very much. How to check news and avoid trading on news time? Okay, so Akmal ji asked a very important question. Now I really want your entire attention on this. Whenever you are taking trades, remember this majority of the news impacts are there exactly at 6 o'clock. This is according to the Indian Standard Time. Plus 530 GMT. On 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, there will be again a volatility. Now make sure it aligns with the US market conditions. 7 p.m. and 6 p.m. are exactly very volatile time conditions. So be very careful if you are taking a trade on that. Okay, we come to the second conclusion. Let's talk about third. So what is the biggest news which we have learned so far? So what happened day before yesterday, Meta releases their earning report. Now in the earning report, it found that even though they made a generous amount of profit and they have given earning per share value to a good margin to some of the client, EPS we call it as. So what happened? Meta, even though they may generated a good amount of profit, but it tumbled down because of the metaverse, because of the expenditure which is happening in metaverse. This is one of the reason why the price of Meta has been tumbled down. Since we know for sure there was a very good probability for Meta to crumble down, and that's why what we did, we took a trade on this on the same day. We took the trade, made the profit and left the market rather than staying in the market for the longer duration. And this is the exact same situation which will be happening with Amazon. Amazon releases their earning report and they made tremendous profit. The profit margin was amazing for them. The entire results can be seen in investing.com and earning calendar, and here I'll show you an example. So if you'll see for Amazon, it will be showing you a little lock in here and the price would be around 119.65. However, since Amazon made $143.1 billion profit, and a part of that profit was distributed among their investor in $0.94 per share, and that's why Amazon will not be opening with this value, but it will be opening with the much higher value. There's a good probability that Amazon can jump by 6%. 6%. Hear me out. If you do not have any idea about it, you will see a big impulsive candle for today. It would be a gap of value, and here you will be able to see the pre-market price. As I told you, there's a very good probability for Amazon to rise, and it can work in your favor. 5.40 or approximately 6% will be the price on which it will be starting. 126 is the price level from which it will be starting. That means it will be starting from this price level, 126. It would be a big gap up can be seen. Now you can use this market analysis for your advantages. Okay, we have some more comments. Alexander said hello sir. Mr. Joyce said, I'm very eager to read about economic to calendar market. I would love to teach you about that. Let me know how many of you are interested, and we can have a special session about this. There's nothing to worry about. Okay, so overall, we completed the financial market news. We'll start with the trading strategy as of now, and I'll tell you at the end of the conversation, before the end of the conversation, what are the three major factors on which you can make a profit. And believe me, it worked out for many of my clients from a very long time, from many years. You can get to know about that, and it's one of the beautiful news. Remember this. You can, like, the next week is full of all the opportunities. It's full of all the opportunities. You just have to understand market. That's all. I'll teach you how to do that. Let's begin our journey for trading. We'll be taking some live trades in my trading account. So as you can see, the name of the strategy that we'll be applying for today, it would be AXEL trading strategy. It's one of the simplest trading strategy that you can see. Go to this technical analysis symbol, A symbol. For all those clients who do have an expert and advanced status, they will be able to see this trading strategy in this technical analysis or the strategy section. You click on this technical analysis symbol, go on to the strategy section. Can you see this AXEL strategy name available? You click in here, you press on enable option, and the strategy will be applied automatically. It just comprises of only one oscillator, which is the momentum oscillator. It is comparing the price of last 14 candles with respect to 9 candles, and that's how it has been generating signals. Before moving forward, there is a small disclaimer from my end. Dear team, I want to inform you that trading in financial market risk involves a high risk and may lead to partial or complete loss of invested fund. I have been taking trades from a very long time, so all the actions which are performed by me on my trading account are based on my experience, and repeating these actions, you act at your own discretion. So be very careful. If you want to analyze the market, I can help you out with that, but remember this: the stream which has been shown to you, it will be delayed by a couple of minutes or probably couple of seconds. So if you'll see some signals in your trading account, it probably you will be little late to open up the trade. Just for the analysis purpose, keep a very closer look on this. If you have any questions, I will love to answer your questions in the comment section. Make sure you give me any questions which has been striking in your mind. Okay. So let's go ahead and understand how this trading strategy works. So watch it very closely. You will see a golden line and a blue line in correlation with each other. Now the golden line we call it as a momentum oscillator, which is comparing the price of last 14 candles, and all you can see is the three different percentage level. It is 100.039, it's 100, and the third one is 99.970. So this is not something that we need to keep a very close look on, but the most important line is the central line, which is the reference line, 100 line. Now what happens when this momentum oscillator crosses this line, 100 line, from bottom to top, at the very moment you can see the momentum can be shifted into the upward direction. There is a swing which happens to be from the bottom to the topward direction, which is an indication that the trend has reversed itself. Can you see this? When it is pointing us in upward direction, the momentum has been changed to upward direction. And so this another analysis which can be beneficial for us. If you'll see, this line which was on the topward direction started crumbling down, and here you can see there is a decrease in the price of oscillator. So the trade which we have taken in my trading account is basically just a random trade, because there was no correlation in between them. I'll tell you, and we'll try to recover this fund. Absolutely, there is nothing to worry about. We'll start with the smaller amount, and I'll tell you how we will be able to use the martingale approach to maximize our profitability. Okay, let's look at the history of, this is my history of the trades. For some of the trades were non-profitable for me, but I ended up recovering $640, which the losses which I had, I am able to recover this. I was using a little fast-paced signals. It would be a little riskier one, but yeah, in the end, it given us the profitability. Okay, so let's try to choose some assets, and let's go ahead with the strategy. Okay, now what you can see in here is the support level, which is a good sign. Second, it is not even able to cross this 100 level as of now. From bottom to top or top to bottom, if it was crossing the signal from top to bottom, then we could have opened up the trade into the downward direction, but there is no confirmation yet in here. and that's why we change it. Okay, let's change the asset from one asset to another. Remember, dear team, no trading strategy can be 100% accurate. And here, choosing the strategy can be very effective. Now, the point why I'm taking trades on the different asset, it would be based on the market volatility. This also depends upon the market volatility, but we'll try to maximize our potential on this one. Okay, let's try to switch between asset and find out a very good signal based on this confirmation. So see, there will be two kind of signals generation here. I'm taking trades on FTT, sir. Tony G said trade FTT. Yeah. Okay, so the blue line is crossing this golden line from bottom to top. That means it's a good uptrend. Let's try to recover our funds based on this analogy. Okay. So here it was a very good support level. Now, can you see this blue line crossing this golden line from bottom to top? It should have an appropriate distance. These golden line and blue line should have an appropriate distance when they are crossing each other, and that's why we are observing it very closely right now. Okay, the bottom to top crossover and a green line formation, which was an ultimate objective for us to open up the trade, and we did that. So 1 minute duration graph and 3 minutes expiration time, 2 to 3 minutes expiration time. It also depend upon the area of experience that you have. I love taking trades on the higher time duration, especially when I'm using this strategy. So what I usually do, I usually guide my client to go ahead with 2 to 3 candles. If you are watching the graph for 5 minutes duration, your expiration time should be 10 to 15 minutes. Now the signals change drastically. Okay, so there was, can you see this? This golden line crossed this 100 line from bottom to top. At the same time, there was a green candle formation, and that's why it was a very good signal to take a upward trade. We are a little late to open up the trade right now. So even though we'll try to open up the trade, there is a very good probability that the trade can be on the non-profitable side. So what we are doing here, we are trying to be a little skeptical and being confident at the same time, because like if we lose the signal, there is no point to open up the trade, because we are already a little late to open up the trade on this one. Okay, let's try to change asset, and in the meantime, I'm reading your comments. Please let me know if you have any questions regarding this strategy. The name of the strategy itself is an AXEL strategy, which has been more predominantly used on FTT to give you a little profitability in the higher end. Okay, let's change it once again. I believe we took the trade on gold, and there was a very good probability. Can you see this? So in 1 minute duration, we were actually observing the graph, and we found out this blue line by keeping a very good distance, crossing this golden line from bottom to top, and at the same time we found out the candle was green, and that's why we took the trade in upward direction for this. Okay, so remember the couple of trades which we have taken. So okay, so one of the trade was non-profitable, the $8 trade which we have taken, right? So the drawback of this strategy is this can be a really difficult to open up the trend when the trend is sideways. If it is green red formation and a lot of doji candles happens to be there, I would highly suggest you to not to open up a trade on this one. Okay, on a sideways market, be very careful, never open up a trade on that. And the second trade, can you see this, the $8 trade which we have executed? It was non-profitable. As I told you, no trading strategy can be 100% accurate. So what we did, we improvised our trade on composite index, and here the time duration plays a major factor. In the beginning, it was crossing this line from bottom to top. That was the signal, and we have given 3 minutes duration as an expiration time. So the trade was negative at the last end, but since we have given enough amount of time for the trades to settle itself down, and that's why the trade was profitable. But one of the finest trade, if we can see here, is the gold. It was an amazing trade, which turns out to be profitable for us. Okay, now what you are observing in this position, always look in while trading the previous support and resistance level. this act as a level of support, and this price can act as a level of resistance. So we'll see whether there would be a confirmation of the signal or not. Okay, let me go through your comments once again. Sir, teach a good strategy. Sir, it depends upon the market condition. I usually teach all my clients minimum 5 trading strategies, because if the market is volatile, probably that trading strategy will not be working, may it be with a trend strategy or counter trend strategy. If some of you know what is with a trend strategy, that means you take the trend with the trend. So here the trend was down, so we take the trade in downward direction, and the counter trend approach is when we wait for the trend to reverse itself. That means from the downward trend, when it's try to reverse itself, that's where we take the trend. That's the difference between with the trend and against the trend approach. Okay, let's try to find. Okay, we'll start the strategy with some currency pairs. Okay, Euro USD is rising amazingly. That means we probably will be making a good amount of profit in here. Euro USD, nice. You see, if the Euro USD price is rising, that means USD JPY must be falling. So USD must be falling against all the pair. So may it be USD JPY. Can you see this? It's tumbling down. And that is for the fact from a very long time it happens to be like this. So in the longer run, we still have an opportunity to open up a trade on this one. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to the strategy. So see, when USD price falls down, which you can see from USD JPY, there's an positive potential in the gold going on. Gold will be increasing right now. Let's go ahead and observe for considerable time. Okay. See, the gold increase its value when the market momentum happens to be here. Okay, let's go ahead and change some assets. AUD, CAD. Okay, so we are into the Forex mode. Let's get back to the FTT mode. Okay, so let's look at this approach. Right now the trend which has been going on is a sideways trend. Okay, so 30 minutes graph, right? Let's just get back to the 5 minutes duration once again. So here we can find a good level of support, the last support level, and we'll see whether it is able to break this specific level or not. Akmal ji said one question, sir, if we got 2 to 3 back-to-back loss, how we control the emotion at the time? Don't take a trade, take a break. I call this approach as 3:5 approach. That means if you have 3 back-to-back profitable, non-profitable trades, you take a break. May it be 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you are not able to control your emotion, this is a very good approach to calm your nerves at the time. And what you will do after this? Once you return back, apply the same strategy, but use the different assets which has given you the non-profitability. You keep on changing assets at time. We had a little crossover from top to bottom, but this is not a good signal to open up the trade. What we are looking out for is the 100 line. Okay, now can you see this? It is, although crossing the 100 line from top to bottom, but at the same time we can see the green candle formation, which is not a good signal at all. It's not a good signal at all. The reason behind is it is showing us the trend has been decreasing, but right now the golden line and the candle formation both are in opposite direction. We will not take a trade on this asset. Okay, let me just, okay, so Astro Index is amazing, nice. See, central line crossing 100 line, green candle formation uptrend, but we haven't seen any signal variation from this. And even you can use this blue line as a reference. There are a couple of ways to do this. So if the blue line is crossing this golden line from bottom to top, we at least need to have a green candle on this one. If it is a signal, then we could be able to take a trade, but there is no signal in both the ways. There are 2 ways to open up the trade on this one. Okay, so we can see this blue line is pushing itself into the downward direction. The golden line is pointing us in upward direction. This trend is also in the upward direction. Now what we need to be certain about, sometimes these kind of falsified signals happens to be there. Even though there will be some red candle formation, it doesn't mean the trend is reversing. So be careful about this. We aren't finding any good signals yet. So this line haven't crossed the central line yet. Let me just reduce the amount. We'll get back to this basic amounts, and we'll go ahead with around 9 minutes duration, since you are watching the graph for 5 minutes duration, upward direction. Now why we took the trade in upward direction, it's because of the fact that it is very close to the central line, and there is a good probability that it can cross this line. It haven't crossed yet, and that's why we have given enough time for the asset to settle down. But the candle formation is red. Now be very careful. If we are opening up the trade and if the golden line is crossing this central line, we need a green candle, at least need a green candle to open up a trade on this one. We can see that there is a trend reversal happening to be here. If you see this golden line, it's close to 100 line, and the green candle formation happens to be here. We have given enough time for the asset to settle down. So let's just hope the market will follow the same direction trend. Let's keep the asset and try to change the asset. In the meantime, dear team, if you find a good signal, let me know. I'll be willing to take a trade on this. Okay, so this line, golden line, was crossed by blue line from top to bottom. It could have been a good signal, but we are little late to open up a trade on this one. Do I have some risk-free trades available? I don't think so. Let's open up a down trade. So the reason behind opening up the trade was, if you see the last support line, it was broken by this candle. That's the one signal. And the second confirmation we got was from the crossover, which happens to be here, and that's why we took the trade in downward direction. Okay, let's try to shuffle between assets once again. If you find a good signal, please let me know. I'm very happy to take a trade on your signals, on your analysis, dear team. Okay, so there is another thing that I wanted to give you a little observation about. So you see, the price variation in GBP USD is exactly equal to the variation in Euro USD. These both graphs are similar. See? And see Euro USD right now. Because of the correlation that they had. They have a positive correlation with each other. If some of you probably don't know what correlation is, I'll teach you about that as well. Since the market is rising very drastically. I told you about one of the asset, right? Amazon in the beginning. Let's just check that. As I told you, the Amazon will be rising exactly 5 to 6% in the bullish sentiments. See? Isn't it? Let me just enable order in here. Okay, I don't think so. I'm willing to open up the trade. Let me just go ahead on forex. We are on the forex. Why the value of multiplier is not shown to us? Okay, because the market is still not been open. Let's wait for the market to open, and I'll take a trade in upward direction. As I told you, there was a very good opportunity for Amazon to rise by 6%. And there is still a probability that it can rise by a considerable margin. We will try to make a profit based on that analogy, dear team. So Mr. Joyce said, so what is the signal for blue line and also manual setting of AXEL? It's very easy. What you need to do, in case if you want to apply the strategy manually, go open an instrument list, go to oscillators, and you will see momentum oscillator. You just select that, and it will be applied automatically, and your trading strategy will be already ready on that. Okay, so let's go ahead with, we'll take the stop loss here of -30, and we'll be expecting the take profit of 60%, 1:2 ratio, upward direction. Okay, so we ended up making a good amount of profit on Euro USD. That's amazing. Let's look at the price of Amazon right now. Okay. It will soon start, will start giving us. Okay, so can you see this? Amazon started giving us the profit. As I told you, dear team, there was a very good probability for Amazon to rise by 6%. And here, what we will do, we will make the profit and leave the market rather than staying in the market for a longer duration. What we are doing here is the scalping process. Nice. So, Mooch index seems to be profitable for us since we have taken a trade on the little higher time duration in here. What about the second trade going on so far? So Mahajantar index is on the negative side. I think it's a close call, and I believe it has a good potential to rise. Whenever the sideways trends happens to be there, this is where we usually being very skeptical at times. Okay, let's try to change between assets once again. I hope you guys are enjoying today's special webinar. We still have some more points. Okay, so it was a good opportunity. Right. Let's just reduce the amount to around $12. Let me just look at the last support line and resistance line. So there is a support and there is a slight resistance. So yeah. Now what I'm doing, I'm just switching the graph for 5 minutes duration, and my expiration time has been increased accordingly. Let's look at our Amazon trade. Nice. As I told you, dear team, there is a very good probability for Amazon to rise, and it's happening. Let's look at for the 30 minutes duration once again. I will be activating a little trailing stop loss on this. Okay, so even the trade seems to be on the negative side. I started trailing for this. Okay, so the next news happening. Okay, so let's go ahead and read your comments once again. Akmalji said, sir, I'm very eager to learn about the upcoming news. Like you place a trade on Amazon, please teach me how to look at the news and place trades. I would love to do that, sir. Trust me, I'll be more than happy to help you out on that part. There are a lot of things that I wanted to discuss with my clients. So in a very shorter duration of time, it's really impossible for me to explain everything that we have learned so far. So let's do one thing. First of all, let's close this trade. We did a scalping. Some of you probably know about this. What scalping basically means, that means you stay in the market for a very shorter duration of time, you make the profit and you leave the market. What I'll do, I'll just open another trade and take another risk of around 30%. Again, I'll try to make like 5 to 10% of the profit on the same, and I'll leave the market based on that. I hope you guys are enjoying today's webinar. So the name of the strategy that we are using as of now is, it's an AXEL strategy, where we basically use two major signals. Okay, so let's just go through the trade history, how they have been working out for us. Yeah, they are both in the profitable side. What happens to Mahajantar index? Okay, I wanted to see the candle for this. Let's go ahead on a minute duration to see the smaller fluctuations. It's a sideways trend. Sideways trend is always trap us. This is certainly that we never wish to receive some sort of signals like this. I usually being very skeptical while to take a trade on a sideways trend, because usually it's ended up on the negative side. So we still have some 30 seconds left, 30 odd seconds left for these trades to close down. We'll wait for it. What about the trade we have taken on Amazon? Is it still in the profitable side? You see, when you take trades in Forex now, you have to keep a track of the trade lively. I usually keep a very closer look on these assets like these. So soon the markets started to be on the sideways trend market. So I think the potential that he has in the very first candle has been certainly diminished by some certain margin. But there is nothing to worry about. Still, I believe it has a very strong potential to be on the rising end. We'll be looking after it. Let's look out for the couple of trades we have taken in here. Slightly negative. Okay. Asia Composite and Mooch Index seems to be on the profitable side. You see, the magic happens to be when you take a trade in the higher time duration. That's where the maximum magic happens. Okay. So let's keep on changing assets once again. Let me know if some of you guys find a good signal. I would love to know about that. अली जी सेड सर आपसे मिलकर काफ़ी बेहतर लगा सर मुझे भी काफ़ी अच्छा लगा आप सभी से मिलकर आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू मीट यू वंस अगेन सी माई मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव इज़ टू हेल्प माई क्लाइंट इन द बेस्ट पॉसिबल वे may it be in FTT or Forex, my objective is my client should be able to make profit. This is why the Olymp Trade has been dedicatedly working on. We have a dedicated team, financial analyst team, which helps our client in under the different circumstances. And this is what we want. We aim profitability for every client, irrespective of the status that you are having. And that's why these free webinars have been there to teach how to teach client how to trade under the different circumstances. I hope you guys are enjoying today's webinar. Let's look at the trade, how they have been performing. So Mooch index seems to be profitable, nice. And it is profitable by a huge margin, that's amazing. I believe Asia Composite Index is still on the dicier side. We haven't seen that much amount of volatility, but since we have given a higher time on this one, I believe still it have a very good potential for rising. Okay, so what about the trade we had open in Forex? Let's look at some more fixed time trade signals. Please, dear team, if you have any question, anything at all. Okay, so Mr. Prince said, sir, naya trade lijiye. Sir, I'm looking out for the signals. Okay, so if you look at these lines, central line is crossing these specific lines. I am willing to open up a trade on this one, but I'm not very sure. Let's just confirm the signal by checking it 5 minutes duration and look at this. Oh, so this is a support line. Now, even I'm willing to open up a trade on this one. This the signal is actually pointing us in downward direction, but since it is a support level, we have to be very careful. It should be able to break this support level. Now, if it does break this level of support, we'll open up a trade in that specific direction, but not right now. Not right now. It hasn't broken it yet. Let's switch to the bare minimum value of $10. Okay, it's rising. Can you see this? It's just staggering around this price level. That means it is acting as a level of support, sir. Let's open up a trade on this one for 4 minutes in upward direction. Now the reason for opening up a trade in upward direction is, if you'll see, this blue line is crossing this golden line from bottom to top. From bottom to top. That's another signal. And another reason for opening up a trade for this one is the support level. It's the support level. It wasn't able to break the support level. So yeah, we took the trade in that specific direction. Do we have a signal on this one? Okay, so this blue line is pointing us in downward direction, and so as this golden line. So both of them are pointing us in downward direction. For the better signal, this is acting as a level of resistance, which is good. This central line can act as a very good level for the trend to reverse. So we'll wait for this golden line to either cross this level. That would be an amazing opportunity for us. But till this point, we are not opening up the trade on this one yet. Let's hope that the trade which we have opened so far are on the positive side. And yes, they are. Okay. What about Amazon? Nice. Can you see this? Amazon is like working miraculously well for us. So the way we predicted for the market to be on the rising side for Amazon, it's amazing. It's amazing. Nice. I still believe it has a very good potential to be on the rising side. Again, I told you what I'm doing is I'm scalping right now. Let me just close this one once again. So thank you very much for the profit, I believe, from the financial market for the news which was about to release. So yeah, it's fascinating to see profit. within a very short period, I believe within 10 to 15 minutes, we were able to make like around $48 or something. So yeah, it's a good news for us. Euro USD is again on the positive side. Both of these trades also looks to be on the positive side. In financial market, we call this as uh, a kind of trading where we believe, okay, so let's do one thing. Let's open another one, shall we? We'll go ahead with just bare minimum. Since we already make a good amount of profit on this one, I'm just going with the smaller value in here. Okay, so let me just select the stop loss of again around 30% would be good. Yeah. And what about the take profit margin? We'll select the take profit. 1:2 ratio is something that we I believe in. Okay, let me just go ahead with the higher time duration and select the take profit margin of around again almost 60% profit. I hope, dear team. Prince G said fixed time new trade. Yes, for sure. We just have taken a trade on Europe Composite Index right now, and it's on the profitable side. So AXEL strategy is amazing, and it's working like a charm for us. Nice. Let's switch between assets once again to find a good signal. There is no signal in here. Let's do it once again. Okay, so for 30 minutes duration, there is no confirmation again. Okay, so for all the new traders, let me tell you the name of the strategy is AXEL trading strategy, and it is based on the momentum oscillator, where if the golden line crosses the central line from bottom to top, at the same time look at the confirmation from the candle. If the candle is on the greener side, that means it's on the profitable side, and if the candle seems to be red and even though it is rising, that's not a good signal to open up the trade. Now the second confirmation that you will get from this strategy is this blue line confirmation. Now if you'll see, the golden line was above 100, that means it is an uptrend. But when this blue line crosses this golden line from top to bottom, it should be very close to bottom level, which is less than 100 or higher than 100. Now if it is higher than 100, this blue line was crossing this one from top to bottom. We get the confirmation from the red candle to take a trade in downward direction, and that would have been profitable for us. Let's look at few more signals. I think both of our trades seems to be profitable, right? Okay, so how many trades we have taken for today? So we started from $8. Yeah, so 2 trades were negative, and how many trades were profitable? 1 2 3 4 5 trades are profitable for us. So overall we are in the profitable state for today. Mr. Joyce said, you said the higher time frame performs the magic. So which time frame is better? Dear team, always remember this. When you take a trade for 1 minute's duration, these are the riskiest time frame ever. If you watch a graph for a minute, your expiration time should be double or triple. But based on my experience, I love taking trades on higher time duration which are greater than 5 minutes duration. Sometimes you probably will see my expiration times last like around 23 hours. There was one trade which I have taken on Asia Composite Index around $4,000. I know it was a higher amount, but I was very confident about that, and the trade was profitable indeed. Okay, let's go through the history of the assets once again. And there are last 10 minutes available for me. I'll be replying to your questions, and let me just straight away jump to what will be happening in the next week. And this is very important considering the financial and economic news. In the next week, we will have 3 major profitable assets. The most important one, and I need you to pay a very closer attention on this one, because this one can give you profitability within couple of minutes, around if you take a trade in forex, it would be more than 100%. There is a good probability to get a profit of more than 100% just in a couple of minutes. Just in a couple of minutes. So in the next week, the date that you need to note down is 31st of October. On 31st of October, starting from 8 to 9, you have to watch very closely any pair associated with JPY. Now why JPY? Because Bank of Japan will be releasing their interest rate on 31st of October. And there is a probability for USD JPY to rise based on the previous fundamentals which I have found out, and I made a good amount of profit in it starting from a couple of years. I have started noticing a pattern on USD JPY. Whenever the interest rate decisions have been taken by the Bank of Japan, USD JPY candles tends to be on the bullish sentiments. I wanted to show you the candle, but I probably need to scroll a little back, which will be again a very tedious process to do. But if some of you know how to work up with the economic calendar, open up 31st of October and you will see Bank of Japan will be releasing their interest rate, and it's been years, it's been more than 5 years that they haven't increased the interest rate. And now based on this terminology, USD JPY has the highest probability to rise on 31st of October starting from 8 in the morning. Any time from 8 to 9 p.m. there is a very good probability for USD JPY to rise. Because I did. In the last Bank of Japan news, I ended up making 220% profit just in 3 minutes. Just in 3 minutes. Using the moderate set of multiplier. And if you don't know about this, this is not an investment advice. It's an analysis which I have done over the course of my experience. So keep a very closer look on this. If you want to test this one out, go ahead on your demo account, 31st of October, exactly around 8, open up a trade in USD JPY upward direction, and that too would be a 200 multiplier, probably 100 or 200 multiplier. Just test this theory out in your trading account. And probably in the next webinar, I'll show you my profit on that. And in the next week, we will have also one of the biggest news. On 1st of November, Federal Bank, that means Jeremy Powell, will be posting his results about the raising in the interest rate. Now whenever the raising in the interest rate happens exactly around 11:30 IST, the price of USD start plumbing itself down 16 to 17 hours before. You can confirm this analogy by checking the graph by yourself. Now these are all the market updates from my end, and I'm very happy to see you once again. Thank you very much for being with me in this entire process. So Amazon started reversing itself. So see, that's what I do. I scalp, I make the profit, and I leave the market. And here I taken a trade with $30, and it's showing me the non-profitability of 15%. We ended up making good amount of profit in it already. So I took the stop loss of around 30%. Even if I lose like around $3, that won't be harming me by a good margin. So I'll see you in the next session, dear team. It's lovely to meet you once again. I hope you understand AXEL strategy to the best possible way from my end. Thank you very much for being with me, and I wish you all the best in the upcoming time. Take care and good luck in trading. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.